the outreach here in Tralee with the Reality Group from Northern Ireland.
And they come down every year.
We're at the Rose of Tralee today. You're a proper Charlie, aren't you? Oh yeah. How you doing?
Good. You getting the crowds?
Not. I've only just set up here a moment ago.
I will feed up in an hour or two.
Oh.
You'll be inundated.
Then the band might start playing.
Oh yeah, not yet. Okay.
Right. Well, it wouldn't be out of place to be standing in Tralee today, giving people the gospel as others are doing, and the little gospels of Mark and John, if anyone wants to take one to have a read of. This week, in our study during the week, Jesus' words to a very religious person. And I know there's not too many very religious people around today, but in case there would be, there is a man, as we know in John's Gospel, chapter 3, who came to Jesus by night, perhaps under cover of darkness, a stealth mission. And he came and he said to Jesus, Rabbi or teacher, we know that you are a teacher who has been sent from God, for no one can do these miracles that you do unless God is with him. Jesus answered and said to him, verily, verily, which in English today would be truly, truly, I say to you that except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. That raises all kinds of questions. What does it mean to be born a second time? We cannot be born a second time physically. So what does it mean to be born a second time other than born from above, born by God, something that God does in the hearts of people? There's a young man there who could answer this question. Sure. Do you have an answer to that or to that? You good at maths? Not so good when people are interrupting you, though. 4,000. That's the most common wrong answer. You know that, right? Yeah, it does. So where have you gone wrong? Maybe you want to have a closer look. Come on, have a closer look. What is 1,000 plus 40? It's up there somewhere. It's up there. What is 1,000 plus 40? What? How could you start off at 1,000 and get 110? Like, seriously. What is 1,000 plus 40? All right. So then, 1,000 plus 40, then add another 1,000 would be what? Correct. So 2,040 plus 10 is what? Correct. Now 1,000 more would give you, correct, 3,050. Then it says add what? Add 40. Add 40 to 3,050 gives you what? Okay, now 3,090 plus 10 is what? So why did you say 4,000? You don't know. But you were convinced that you were right. Am I right that you were convinced that you were right? Were you wrong? Okay, good to admit you're wrong sometimes, isn't it? What's your name? Ronan. So you could admit that you were wrong when it came to something like maths, right? What if someone was convinced that they were right and they stood there and they were blue in the face saying, I'm right, it's 4,000. Would they be wrong? Yeah. Okay. What if there was 10 of them who said it? And you were the only one who was saying it was 3,100. Would you be wrong? Because they were all saying it was 4,000. The majority always being right? No? Oh, interesting, right. Okay, like what you did. Okay, now here's the deal. Could you be wrong about other things? Huh? What do you mean you don't know? Of course you'd have to say, if I could be wrong. Okay, what do you see there, by the way? What? One lady. Is she young or old? Okay. What? About 20? And is she looking over to her shoulder that way? To the right? Okay, what's she got on her neck? What if that wasn't a black line, if it was somebody else's mouth, a grin, somebody smiling away? Can't see it? You can't see someone's mouth there, no? Well, it's interesting. Oh, an old what?
An old woman.
An old woman like a witch, because you've seen witches, you know what they look like. Okay, so here's the deal. At first glance, you only saw one, but with a little bit of help, you saw the other, right? Could that be true of other things, that you might need a little help to see things better? Huh? Yeah. Okay, well, I have several things that I have to talk to people about today, such as, have you ever, I know you're only about 12-year-old, right? 14. Oh, that's okay. Listen to this. I suppose in your whole lifetime, have you ever read any of the Bible? And what have you read? What do you understand of it? Do you understand anything that you read in it? Like when Jesus said in John chapter 3, that unless you're born again, you will never, and I mean never, huh? You'll have to use a microphone. Do you want to hold that?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you say?
Never experience life again or something like that.
If you don't get born again, you'll never see the kingdom of heaven. Okay?
Yeah.
But how can a person be born again?
Get rid of all their sins.
Get rid of all your sins? Well, how would that make you born again?
I don't know.
Surely you need something to change within you. Otherwise, you do the same sins all over again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to change from within by the power of God, and God can do that in someone's life. You know that?
Yeah.
He can take somebody and cause them to be awakened.
Yeah.
That they might have said, I have no interest. No, not interested in God, not interested in the Bible, not interested in all that stuff. And heaven can wait, right?
Yeah.
But when you're awakened spiritually, next thing you know, you're saying, hey, I never had this desire before. All of a sudden, you know what, I woke up this morning and I decided, you know what, I need to read something of the Bible. Or I want to go to church, or I want to know about God. And where's that coming from? It is a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now here, I'm going to give this to you if you wish to take it.
Yeah.
You can have either of those or both.
That one.
Yeah. All right, thanks. And that is a gospel of Mark. Because I've got John's gospel and Mark's gospel. And you can read that when you get home. All right? Good. Did we meet before? Have you done this test before? Okay, you can fire away at it. If you want to lay your burdens down. Do you want to hold this? Just see if you can answer any of the questions. There's 6 questions, but you can answer 1, 2, 5, whatever you want. What do you see there?
I see an old woman.
An old woman. Okay. It's not the first thing everyone sees.
I'd say so. It's 1 or 2. I'm guessing the second is. There's a young girl facing away from me now. I can see her chin.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can have a look at that one, see what you think of the Mav's question. Well, I maybe
1,000.
try that one as well. Are you good at maths?
4,000?
4,000. Well done. That's the most common wrong answer.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well,
yeah.
So you obviously went wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to capture that kind of expression when people are so convinced that they're right when in fact they're wrong. So where did you go wrong?
It's the wording.
Why? What's wrong with the wording? Is it not big enough? Or
So 1,000 plus 40.
yeah, that's correct.
Would that be
1,040.
okay? Yeah. Now add another 1,000 to that 1,040.
Yeah,
which is 2,014. And it's add 10.
Yeah, 2,050.
Yeah, 1,000 more.
1,000 more would be 3,050.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then add 40.
3,090.
Yeah. And then 10 under that.
3,100.
Is it the way it's worded?
It's my fault. I'm an idiot. Jesus. Yeah.
Well, no. look, it's not like you're the only one who's got it wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's only to point out that even if everyone else said that, now that you know the answer, right?
Yeah.
If there was other people who said no, the answer is 5,000 or 4,000.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Would you be willing to say, well, I may be the minority, but I'm right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, some people will argue that, oh, but I'm entitled to my opinion,
Of course, yeah.
but they're still wrong.
Yeah, when it comes to maths.
Well, if you walked into a shop or
See,
a
it's a
bank,
visual thing as well, you see.
yeah.
So if you had it on paper, you could clearly show where the person who said 4,000 went wrong.
Mm-hmm. But if say for example someone went into a shop and they said a 100 euro note, if you had one,
Yeah.
could you change this for me? Yeah, of course I could. Here's 2 tens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no. I meant could you give me this broken down into smaller notes? Okay. And could they just give you whatever they felt was suitable? No, maths works. And
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
have to have a standard by which it works. Okay, one more. I won't do all the tests, but that's one there. Here's a riddle, okay?
Yeah.
What is greater than God, worse than the devil? The dead eat it, and if the living eat it, they die.
Nothing.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the statement, though? I mean, it may be something you go, I don't know if that's true, false.
That's perspective and through experience and stuff. So what is greater than God? You could say humans. Are we not God?
No. Oh, it depends what your definition of God is.
Exactly.
Of course. And
See, that's the problem.
And so one of the things I ask people out in the streets is to get an opinion of what people feel and think. I ask them 3 general questions. Now, what's your first name?
Ray.
Ray. So, Ray, do you mind if I ask you these 3 questions?
Sure.
Okay. Number 1, do you believe that there is a God?
I believe, yeah, there's an entity that created us, yeah. So God is one name for
Right. So that would have been a sub-answer question. Would have been, how would you define that? Because if you said, "Oh, I believe in God," it's me. or I believe in God. That tree, I created every day, whatever it
Yeah,
might
that
be.
makes
Right.
sense.
So the God that you mentioned is an entity, a being, maybe that.
I think
created-
it's, no, I'd say it's closer to, I suppose, Allah, the way it's just an energy that lives among us, through us all. So you could say the tree is technically God, but it's a kind of more of an amalgamation of us all.
Okay.
So if God is the ocean, we're only a little shot glass of that water.
Not even a shot glass.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that includes all matter and things like that.
Okay, so that would mean that, just on that, that would mean that God basically created himself if there was a creation.
Created himself. Well, I suppose you could kind of discuss in the simulation theory who actually created us. Was there a creator? That's God or someone running a simulation?
Well, the way it looks, now I know we're going into extra questions, but it's just to say that some people believe that the universe has always existed,
Okay.
and scientists are now claiming that it hasn't always existed.
Okay.
And that's why they came up with that Big Bang.
Yeah.
And they said, no, it came into being.
Yeah.
But how did something come from nothing into being? And there's something always existed. Something, whatever it is, something
Something
always
bigger
existed.
than.
Right.
Or, well, yeah, exactly. So-
Something or someone has
Yeah.
always existed.
Yeah. Well, it's the perception of time because we live in the 3rd dimension, but perceive things in 2 dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So time is
There could be
the
4
4th dimension.
dimensions.
Yeah.
There could be 10 dimensions.
Is time the 4th dimension? We could be a creation of something that is also creation, so we could be the 6th level.
Well, did you
but
know?
I do believe, yeah.
Okay, just another
something.
point on that is that the universe is basically summed up with 5 elements.
Okay.
Okay.
Earth,
Time.
air, wind. Okay, sorry.
Space,
Yeah.
matter, motion, and energy.
Cool.
And those things are so combined, you couldn't really separate one from the other. So,
Yeah.
for example, I have my car key.
Yeah.
Matter.
Yeah.
If I throw it to you, it passes through space,
Yeah.
taking time, motion, and energy. You can't separate them. So, for the universe to have been created, would have been a creation of time, space, matter, motion, and energy, bang, all at once.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, second question. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds like we're asking a
I have
test
to go back
question.
to work. Yeah.
Second question is, do you have a soul?
Yeah.
And what is it?
I can't define it properly, to be honest. So I'm not too sure the difference between a soul and a spirit.
No difference, really.
I know I heard an explanation that was quite nice. So if, again, God or Creator or Allah, whatever, is the ocean, and we're merely a shot glass. Our body is the glass, and our spirit is our soul is the water inside the glass, and our spirit will be the color dye we put into it.
Okay,
So
that's
it's just
nice.
so it's still the same
Like
amount.
personality, maybe, or something like that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just boil it down to two parts: a material part of you and an immaterial part of you.
Yeah.
And that immaterial part of you could be referred to as spirit or soul.
Yeah.
Okay. And the third question is, where do you think, or what do you think happens to you when you die? Like, what happens to the soul then? Is it an everlasting? Does it go somewhere else? Does it cease
So
to
the
exist?
energy has to go somewhere else. So the energy, the electricity going through our bodies has to go on. So you can't destroy energy, as we're told.
Okay.
So it could be kinetic. It could be anything. It could change from one form of energy to the other. So the electricity from our body it could be kinetic. Could be anything. So I'm not too sure where that goes. So the electricity in our body. Apparently the soul, they've measured it, and apparently the body is slightly lighter.
9 ounces? Is that the
Something like
based
that,
on the movie?
Yeah. I think we might go to another dimension. We might go like could be reincarnation involved there as well. Like,
So I've discussed reincarnation with people as well. It's sort of very tricky one because I mean we could spend a lot of time going into it. You don't have time for that.
yeah.
But basically, someone has to decide who goes where and why do they go there. Is there a God who says how you are going here? See, now
It
there's
should be a balance of energy.
well, is it just energy
Yin
working
yang,
with
that's
energy?
where it's-
Energy working with energy? The reason why I said about God at the very beginning is because if it was a being that was a being without any personality, just a being that has always existed, then would there be any personality or reason or imagination or thoughts of, hey, it's time to create stuff? If it was a personal being, right, who has always existed, then there may be a reason to say, I'm going to display what I can do. I'm going to make stuff.
Happy in nature though, because animals do it as well as the mating call. They might do a cool tidy up the nest, a nice dance, and that's art in itself, and that's beauty, that's love. But then we think we're humans and we're the only ones that create and stuff.
Oh, no, I don't think
so
that.
the animal kingdom.
I can see the birds, the weaver bird and all the rest of it. Yeah. So I'm just saying that of course, I'm coming from a biblical point of view, right? Now you have mentioned a lot of things that you may not know.
Yeah.
And I know you haven't been all the time.
Yeah.
But here is something to think about, okay? There is a scripture in the Bible that says this, and you can see what you think of it. It is appointed unto man to die once, and after this the judgment. If there was a judgment to come, would that bother you?
If there was a judgment,
Yeah.
who's judging us?
Well, let's say
like it's
that
a funny
if
one.
there's-
There's nothing you can kind of do. Like if you, I suppose you can be judged, but you just try to be a good person in general. And I think if you can do that and like be judged by your families and friends in a way that you're always trying to be kind, you're always trying to be a good person, that's the life you've lived. And if God sends us to earth in a finite time, just say 80 years, whatever like that, and if time is exponential on the outside, we have 80 years to experience, to say, love, which is the most powerful thing in the universe. Energy, most powerful energy. So, get judged afterwards. Would we get judged? I suppose it would. But like,
well, we get judged in this life as well. I mean, if you commit crimes, there will be consequences.
Yeah.
And if we say, well, there's no judgment, I can do
that's the
whatever
thing
I
that
like.
I don't get with the Bible. The whole heaven and hell thing, like. So, why would God create hell? Why would God kill so many people in the Bible? It's a bit mad. Why would God let Palestine happen? Like, that's terrorism as well. So, it's an interesting one. You're talking about eugenics and things like that, and if you start going down that route, I don't know.
Well, if there's anyone who has the right to judge us,
Does he not forgive?
well, there is that. If God, if someone says you have to forgive me, is it really forgiveness? If you're forcing me to forgive you?
No.
If I said I
Does not the book
choose to
indicate
do
that? Doesn't the Bible indicate that? Like, do whatever the hell you want, and at the end, if you ask for forgiveness, you're
No,
sweet
it
out.
doesn't say that.
Ah.
No,
It does say that there is giants.
there are. There's always been giants.
Nice. And
I met a few
what about prawns?
prawns.
Yeah. Apparently it says it 6 times in the Bible you should eat prawns.
This is where people just isn't what people do, right? They dip into parts of the Bible which is speaking to a certain people and say, "Oh, that'll suit me, fine." Like when he's speaking to Israel as a nation and says, "You're going to be different than all the other nations." Why? Well, you're going to all wear red clothes or whatever, right?
Yeah, why do you
Okay.
kill a lot of Egyptian children?
Well,
That's pretty mental.
Well, let's say, for example,
Like Netanyahu.
let me just mention the thing about the
Sorry.
bronze first, okay? That was to show them that you're going to be different from all the nations, that you're going to eat different foods from them, you're going to be a separate people. That's the bottom line of it, okay? And God has the right to judge wicked nations. And let's not think that the people, like there's people in Israel, in the country of Canaan, it says, I'm judging them and I'm going to get them out of the land and you're going to come into the land. That's in the Old Testament, right?
Yeah, that's
But what were they doing beforehand, these people? Are they just a nice, law-abiding people?
Tribes of Judea.
No. The ones who were in the land of Canaan before Israel came into it, for example, right?
Okay.
It says, the people who lived here, were sacrificing their children on altars to their gods.
Yeah.
And I judged those people for their wickedness.
But then he also kills children.
Who?
God.
Well, God brings the death sentence on all people. I mean, we're all under death sentence right now.
We are, technically, but like, children are the best humans. The happiest, the nicest, the most honest, the best humans, they should be protected.
Yes. And
So for God to kill, see, I don't believe in the what's his name?
original sin?
No, the God that looks like Zeus.
Who's that?
God, Christian God. He looks like Zeus. That's where the painting comes from.
Don't go by, you can't go by
Jesus
paintings.
Christ he's the image of the illegitimate son of a pope. What's his name? Caesar Borgia. Check out Caesar
These are
Borgia.
simply paintings.
Yes. Yeah, but then
Man's imaginations.
but then what are you praying to? You're praying to like the wrong person there. You shouldn't be praying to an image where there's so much false history. Then how can you trust the Bible?
You're familiar with the Ten Commandments, right?
Yeah.
The first one is you shall have only one God, because there only is one God.
Same as the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Ten Commandments, 2,000 years earlier.
Okay. So that you've been told, okay?
They are the same.
Maybe by Google
I've read
search. Okay, secondly, it says, do not make for yourself any idols. And the reason being, don't try to
Like
make
Moses
an
did.
image of God, because you couldn't really describe God anyway. And your best efforts are going to make a mockery of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I
So
thought
Islam would be the most respectful that way, wouldn't it?
Be what?
Islam would be the most respectful that way because they find it insulting to try to create an image of.
But yet they've got a Kaaba in the middle of the Saudi Arabia, which has a big black stone in it, and they all kiss it. And what is that all about, like?
Geometry.
Huh?
Geometry. That big black cube is geometry.
Yeah, but what's in the corner of it?
Sacred geometry. It's a
What's in the corner of the Kaaba? A black meteorite stone that everyone tries to kiss, and if they can kiss that, they get the forgiveness of all their sins.
Sure, if you kiss the Blarney Stone, you get the the Irish.
That's it. So, listen, I don't know, have you read any of the Bible? You said you
Yeah.
read some books. Okay, what have you read of the Bible, by the way, just out of interest?
Genesis is the best book, obviously.
Why?
Because it has giants in it.
Well, it has. There's always been giants, but some,
But
people,
see,
have
that's what I mean.
some people have translated that as men of renown. He's a giant. What do we mean in our context of giant, for example, right? I said, oh, see that guy plays basketball? He's a
No, I
giant.
agree with you. So dragons, do dragons exist?
Well, if you understand what the word means.
Yeah, so
it's a-
dinosaurs over 300
right.
years ago, yeah.
So what does the word dragon actually mean? And
It
if
means
you
it's
look
like
at
a large reptile.
a large lizard or reptile, so
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And reptiles grow as long as they live, apparently. I haven't got
Yeah,
any
there can be
reptiles.
more oxygen in the atmosphere.
That's right. Lots of changes have taken place on this earth.
Yeah.
So Ray, good to talk
Lovely
to
to
you.
meet you.
And thank you
very
for
much.
stopping. And here's a Gospel of John for you to have a read at. Looks like a crowd has been gathering. Thank you for that. That's for my YouTube channel, by the way. Some of the stuff is good. Sometimes we use some of the material for short videos. Okay. So if you want to look it up, you can do so. It's Living Rock Church, Killarney.
Living rocks.
Okay. Thanks. God bless.
I think I know the answers to the riddles.
Really? What's the answer to that one?
That one,
Yeah.
nothing is greater than God, nothing's worse than the devil, and if they don't eat nothing, they'll
You
die.
have to hold that microphone. Now say it again.
Nothing is greater than God, nothing's worse than the devil, and if you eat nothing, they'll die. So the answer is nothing.
Correct. Okay, so the answer to this one?
I was thinking it's
While I turn this over. This is an easy one for non-verbal answers, really.
I know the answer to that one.
What? You have the answer to that? What is it?
3,100.
Very good. Are you a mathematician?
I'm smart enough, yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because there was a mathematician from the Tralee College who got it wrong.
Oh.
2 accountants who got it wrong. So that's pretty good. Okay.
Smart enough, yeah.
What do you see there?
Ooh. I see a lady looking.
A lady, young or old?
Oh, I can see 2. I can see 2.
Very good. Most people only see 1. Okay, how about this one? This is a quick one. Read what's in the 3 triangles.
Paris in the spring, bird in the land, bird in the hand. Yeah. Do you know that's actually
Okay.
and once in a lifetime?
Well, I finally got you on all three. You got them all wrong.
Paris in the spring.
You got a bit of a stutter?
The
You got a bit of a stutter, have you?
no?
Do you know the weak for me?
What does it say?
Paris in the spring. And then it's bird in the hand.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime.
A lifetime.
Oh.
So, see, people make mistakes. So we've got that one, and that. One more. What does that say?
God is nowhere.
Are you sure?
No?
Are you sure? Ah, so it could say one or the other.
God is now here.
Very good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, right, we got two more to go. Two more to go. Let's see. You did that one. Actually, you got one more to go. Let's see who can.
Hi.
The quickest one to get this one right. Let's see. Who's the quickest to get the answer? Sorry, what?
Three.
It's a.
Is it count them once though?
Yeah, count how many times the letter F appears within that yellow bubble or paragraph. Three. Well done. Well done. Good. Who said three? Who said three? Well done.
He said three
You
first.
want a free book?
No, Josh.
He said three first.
Okay, you said three?
He said it first.
Very good. How many are there actually?
The yellow box is 3.
There's actually
Wait, the
six.
whole thing is 4.
There are 6.
Why did I get a book?
Because you got 3. At least 3.
Yeah,
I
but
had 2 books.
Found them.
What?
I found the 6.
Find all 6 where?
Yeah. There.
What's that telling me? What there?
There.
No, inside this.
Inside that.
Yeah.
1, 2. Okay, you've already got it wrong.
Right, you got 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There you go. Eventually you got them all. Whoa! Be careful, those things easily break.
Yeah, I dropped
Let me
this.
just. Oh, it's okay. See that one there? Missing a button. That's someone dropped it before.
That was not me though.
Okay, so do you know what I'm doing here today? I'm using this as an opportunity to preach to people the gospel. Because you can be wrong about things, you can read things wrong, you can see things wrong, but sometimes people are wrong about everything, and some people are wrong about certain things, right?
Yeah.
So here's my 3 questions. See who can answer. Who wants to answer the 3 questions?
Me.
Okay, where are you from?
Middleton.
Middletown.
Yeah,
Okay.
Middleton.
So number 1, is there a God?
Yes.
Okay, and could you maybe give a bit more description of what that is?
God is a it's a
God is a non-existent.
no, not alive. He's not alive, not dead. He's a figure of greatness that controls everything.
Everything, even your life.
He
Yeah, just say it.
yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Did God create everything?
Yes.
Okay. So second question is, what's your name?
Philip.
Philip?
Yeah.
Lover of horses, right? That's what it means?
Does it?
Greek word? Right. Do you have a soul?
Yes.
What is it?
A soul
Yeah?
is something you sell to the devil. You know?
What? Is there some price? How does that happen? Like, what do you mean?
Like
Do you have a soul? That's all I'm asking.
yeah,
You have a soul.
yeah,
You have a soul. What is the soul? And you said it's something you sell to the devil.
yeah, for like money and stuff.
No. What is the soul? Is not your soul your life?
The soul is my life.
Okay, you have a life.
Yeah.
You're going to sell yours to the devil.
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
no, I didn't.
So the soul is what?
The soul is my
Your
life.
life. Okay. And you have a soul, yes.
Yeah.
And the third question is, what do you think happens when someone dies? Like, say for yourself, if you were to die, what happens to the soul on death?
They go up to heaven no matter what because God forgives everyone.
Okay, so if I was to have a machine gun, right?
Yeah.
Go and shoot everybody here and then shoot myself, I go straight to heaven. That's pretty good.
No.
Well, you just said, no, did you not?
ask for forgiveness?
No, he didn't say that. He did. Did you say that?
Yeah, I did.
That
You
would be the right
said,
thing, though,
you said,
Check
right,
the video.
everybody
Like
goes
and
to heaven.
subscribe.
No matter what they do. No matter what they do,
No,
right?
okay, I'll change that there.
Okay, change it.
Right. Everyone that everyone that asks for forgiveness, goes, regrets their decision, goes to heaven.
So I go, I regret this. I go straight to heaven?
Nah,
No.
that's because it wasn't actually
Real, genuine?
Yes.
Okay.
God knows deep down.
Okay. The thing is that even if that sounded nice, sounds like nice, like everyone would want that.
God will know if it's
It
true or
seems
not.
to leave something out. And you know, the Bible, I use Bibles and things all the time. It talks about God coming into this world as a man, and his name is Jesus.
Yeah.
And he died upon a cross.
Yeah.
Okay? And he died in the place of sinners like me, who had done those things, right? Not that I shot everybody. But what you're saying wouldn't require Jesus, would it?
Where are you coming from?
What?
What do you mean, like?
Well, if you just live a good life, regret what you've done, ask for forgiveness, Jesus doesn't need to be involved in that message, does he? You don't need Jesus there.
Why?
Because what you just said is, you just say, I'm sorry for the way I've lived my life, and you go to heaven. Where's Jesus?
No.
You didn't mention Jesus.
Yeah, because we're talking about the Father, not Jesus.
Oh, but you never mentioned, that's what I'm saying.
No, the Father.
No, the Father is not
Yeah.
Jesus. That's for sure.
The-
Okay, so my
Jesus
point
is the Father's Son.
My point is that
Yeah.
Jesus came to die in the place of sinners so that the sin that they have committed would be placed upon him, right?
Yeah.
So that his goodness could be put onto them and they could be treated as if they have lived a good life.
Yeah.
And God can treat them as if they have lived a good life, right? Do I need to go to heaven? I've never been to, let's say, Australia, but I know it exists. Do you? Or do you know Australia exists?
Because other people have been there.
Have you been there? Okay.
Other people
Yeah,
have
but
been
you can
there.
get
His parents
Okay.
have been
You can get
there.
a plane to Australia, you can't get a plane to heaven.
Okay, what is heaven exactly? By the way. By the way, when you say heaven, what do you mean? The sky?
No one knows the answer to that question.
No one knows.
No one
How do
knows.
you know that no one knows?
Has ever anyone
that's about it.
except for
How do you-
Jesus
No,
been
we're talking about it.
reincarnated? Has anyone been reincarnated?
What does that mean?
Elvis has.
What does reincarnation mean?
Reincarnated. It made again.
Like a fella.
Came back from life.
No, it doesn't mean that. That's
No?
to be resuscitated.
Came back from death.
That's to be raised from the dead.
Have the same spirit.
Reincarnation is
Oh, it's when you die and you
coming
go
back in a
another
body.
life.
coming back in a different body, maybe as a.
Not like
In a different life.
Christian thing.
Huh?
That's how reincarnation is a Christian thing.
It isn't Christian. No. Reincarnation is coming again in the body of something else, or perhaps a snail,
I have to go.
or a monkey.
It's okay.
Okay, that's okay. You have to go. Here, take one of these with you. On Mark's Gospel, since you got the right answer.
God bless.
Am I smarter
Whoa!
than a mathematician?
What?
Am I smarter than a mathematician?
Well, you're smarter than the one that I met, anyway.
There.
So you. Okay, what's your name?
Darren.
Darren. Good to meet you. Sorry?
Not come back as another person.
No. Why you ask?
Because I just thought that.
You thought reincarnation? Well, here's the thing, right? Think about the word reincarnation. It's broken up into syllables, right? Incarnation, and then reincarnation. What is the incarnation? Have you heard of that before?
Is that not when you get locked up in prison?
Right. So carne is meat. Okay. Chili con carne. Right.
Oh.
Right. So incarne means in the flesh. Right. So you're in the flesh right now. Right. If you were to come back in the flesh, that would be reincarnate, again in the flesh. And so people who believe in reincarnation sometimes say, well, I lived a life before and I've come back as somebody else, right? But they also believe that you could come back as a snail or a dung beetle if you're not a good person. So let's say you were in India, you'd just look at the poor, handicapped, blind people and say, well, they obviously weren't such a good person in a previous life.
Oh.
That's what they think. That you came back as in this way, you deserve the way you lived. See? Whereas the Bible teaches one thing. It says this: it is appointed unto men to die once, and after this there's a judgment. Okay, so what happens when you die once? You don't die several times, you die once, and after that there is a judgment. So the question is, if you were to die and face the judgment, how do you think you'd do? Are you with this group of people who were here earlier, or were you on your own?
No, I'm waiting.
Okay, so What's your answer to that question? Do you think that if God judged you, everything will be okay? Why?
Because I give.
Because what?
I give things to homeless. When I have change, I give.
Hold on a second. I have to move over to my camera. Okay, so think about it. Are you saying that you could earn your way to heaven by giving to the poor and things like that?
By being a good person.
But who's a good person? Would you consider yourself to be a good person? Okay. Have you kept all the laws of God, the commandments?
Yeah.
Such as you shall not lie. Have you ever lied before?
Sorry, where is this going?
Well, it depends on the quality of the recording. I have a YouTube channel called Living Rock Church Killarney.
Will I follow you?
If you want to.
I will.
But don't be following me home. Yeah, it's on Living Rock Church Killarney.
You should get a TikTok account and post these
Well,
things to
I'm not so good at TikTok.
What's it called?
Living Rock Church?
Killarney.
Do you make good money off that?
No, I don't make money on things at all.
You volunteer?
Well, it's of course.
I think you're a good person, sir.
Well, what is a good person? The only good person who ever actually lived is Jesus Christ.
I subscribe.
Okay, cool. Okay, is it Darren you said? No.
Darren.
No.
I'm Philip.
Philip, that's right, lover of horses.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They both have traffic lights.
Stephen?
Now, we all know green goes on the bottom, yellow in the middle, then red on top.
Very good. Crowds of people.
Wait! Okay, I messed up. Let me try again. Okay. Green on the bottom, yellow in the middle, red on top.